What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Silver Screen Shenanigans podcast. My name is Devin, and the question of the day is, if you had to choose the two suits from this movie that are kind of featured, or maybe three, would you choose King T'Chaka's Black Panther suit, Killmonger's Black Panther suit, or T'Challa's Black Panther suit? I don't know. The T'Chakas and Killmongers look pretty cool.
They do.
With the gold and like the robes and stuff. But the OG sleek Black Panther suit, just because of how faithful it is, I think, to the comics and just how sleek it looks, I think I'm going with that one.
Yeah, that's a great answer. I'm Riley. I think if I had to choose one, I'd choose King T'Chaka's because he's got like the
sash.
The sash on top of it.
Yeah.
It just looks kingly.
Kingly. What?
Is that a word?
Royal. I'll go with royal. It looks royal.
Yeah, you're right. It looks royal. Can I talk about Killmonger's suit though, real quick, since we kind of talked about it?
Okay.
It looks like a cheetah print suit.
Kind of.
Because so it's not more of a panther, it's more of a cheetah, unless I just don't look at panthers correctly. Because okay,
I don't know.
You're just shaking your shoulders like I don't know.
So we begin this movie.
What movie are we talking about?
We begin Black Panther. Way back in the past, as like the Earth is forming and like man is becoming like sort of civilized in their own nations. There are 5 tribes in Africa who they worship like the goddess Bast, and they led this warrior to like find this power of the flower, and he became like the first Black Panther. And also they found like a lot of vibranium.
Yeah, it talks about a meteorite hit the Earth in the middle of Africa, and around it was built. There were 5 tribes built around it.
Yes.
So, and they call that Wakanda.
One of them tribes isolated themselves because they didn't like how how
they started building all this technology,
and I'm like, this is against the traditional ways. So they just went into the mountains.
Yes.
So then we cut to 1992. We meet a dude with guns doing some criminal stuff.
Yes. They look like arms dealers because they seem like they were trying to buy guns to sell them.
True. So then I can't remember where they say it was, but it's like in America.
Was it Oakland, California?
In the city. Yeah, somewhere in the city. I can't remember.
I think it was California. So.
But King T'Chaka just kind of walks in and says, "Hi, what's up, guys?" And so we find out this arms dealer is Wakandan, and
it's the king's brother.
He was sent there on a mission to like kind of like scout out and like help Wakanda. Turns out
as a spy.
But yeah, I guess we don't know that information yet. But they talk about Claw, and they are like, yeah, we're tracking him down, and they're like, he had secrets, and he like blew up one of our places. I wonder how he got those secrets.
Interesting.
So yeah, we find out that T'Chaka's brother was selling secrets to hurt Wakanda.
Was it in I don't want to say it wrong. I think it's like M'Baku, or is that the
outside? That's the outside leader. Tribe.
Okay, my bad.
So then the ship flies away, and these kids just kind of watch the ship fly away, and then we cut to present day.
Whoa.
No,
I'm pretty sure.
Nope. No. None of that.
Sure?
None of that happens yet.
Well, not the other part, but like he takes him back with him.
No, they don't take him back.
Okay. Whatever.
Present day, right after Civil War, T'Challa is flying in a ship, and he is now I guess he will be the king, but he is like still like the warrior, the really cool guy that we saw in the last movie. He goes to rescue this patrol of this Wakandan people, and also this girl that he's like really into, named Nakia. He freezes when he sees her.
Yeah, they like keep going. Don't freeze when you see her. Don't freeze.
He's kicking butt until he sees her, and then he freezes. So then, what also is pretty cool though, like so they pick up. Well, they tell all the passengers to go on their way, and then they take Nakia.
Completely forget about this.
Yeah,
this did not happen.
They take Nakia, and they go back home, and the score for Wakanda, like as they enter Wakanda, is pretty cool with like the drums or whatever like instruments they're using.
So cool. I think this has to have one of my favorite tracks throughout the whole movie. All of the music and
it's good sound design.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, Guardians of the Galaxy wins, but
with the songs, but like this has the best.
Oh, it's like the original soundtrack. Yeah. Okay, music for this. I got you. We meet the family. We meet. I wish I remember her name.
The mom,
the queen. Yeah.
I don't know.
We meet his sister, T'Challa's sister, Shuri. Uber smart, one of the smartest characters in the MCU.
I'd say her technical ability rivals Tony's.
Sure.
But
she also had a lot of help though because she has vibranium.
Right. Yeah. That's why I'm saying. I don't know if her
Tony had to create his own. Had to create his own.
This in a cave
with a box of scraps. One of the best MCU lines. So they're like getting ready for his ceremony, but then before that, we cut to Britain, and we meet Michael B. Jordan's character, Killmonger, which I think his real name is Eric, but Killmonger sounds better. So I'm gonna call him Killmonger.
So much cooler.
Dude, Michael B. Jordan is another one of them, like super cool guys who's super talented. I haven't seen him in much else besides like the Creed movies, but he's really good in those.
I think he's a very good actor.
Yes, for sure.
When he's in a part, he plays that part.
He kills it. So he was also very cool because he's in this. I think it's a British museum, and he's just talking about like, "Yo, where's this from? Where's this from?"
He's asking the tour lady.
Yeah, and she's like, "Where this final object? It looks like kind of a hammer thing." He's like, "Where's this from?" And she says something. He's like, "Nah, that's Wakandan." and he says a pretty cool line though, because Britain, how did they get all this stuff? Well, wars, and they kind of stole it from places.
I'm gonna take it off your hands here pretty soon.
She's like, these are not for sale. And he's like, well, how do you think your ancestors got this stuff?
And he goes, you've been watching me this whole time, but you don't watch what you put in your body. And then she starts dying
because she's been sipping a coffee.
She's been poisoned
with whatever. Like it looked like it kind of paralyzed her, like she can't speak.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, some kind of like paralyzing agent.
Dude, this is the most brutal scene. Like in my mind.
Oh, what Claw does?
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, Claw and Killmonger are working together, and they're stealing Wakandan artifacts for the monies
to sell the vibranium.
Yep.
Yeah. So
security shows up.
Yeah.
Claw kills two guys immediately, and then he's like to the third guy. He's like, "Hey, come here." He's like, "Run that way. Run that way.
You can go."
And I won't don't tell anybody. And then he shoots him as he's running away. I'm like, oh man.
He gave him the hope that he could get away.
Yep.
And then ended it. Ugh.
Back to Wakanda. This ceremony time. T'Challa is going to be crowned king.
In order to be crowned king,
he's already king.
Yes. You must be accepted by all 5 tribes.
Yes. Nobody. They all have like an open challenge type thing. Which I kind of find fascinating because in America we're like fairly like technologically advanced, but we still do a lot of like weird traditions and stuff like that, like oldish traditions. Like I always find
elections.
I
think we should do trial by combat.
Oh my god! But that's what I was gonna say in this movie. It's like they're super advanced and like a lot of things in Wakanda, but like how they choose their king is like a blood match.
I mean,
it's like
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's cool, but like I just find it the the difference kind of weird. Like I would have, you would have figured it would have been like an election or something like that. But it's just part of their like Wakandan culture.
Yeah.
So yeah, none of them.
We get introduced to all 5 tribes.
Yes, the border tribe, and that's the only one I can remember.
The river tribe.
Very distinct.
The other ones.
Very distinct clothing and
each tribe has different clothes, different outfit, or different like color outfits, and
dude, T'Challa's got like some pretty sick like war paint going on.
Oh yeah,
on his back to look
looks
like
a snow panther.
Yeah, with like, and then he's got some stuff on his eyes.
Leopard.
He's got some like traditional. He's got like a shield and like a spear. It's pretty sick. So yeah, none of these tribes challenge. But then you hear like some chanting going on in the caves, and then dude M'Baku shows up, and he's part of the Jabari. The Jabari tribe.
Yes, the Jabari are so cool.
That's the outside tribe who doesn't really believe in like the ways of like how they went into the other tribe. So he calls out T'Challa for a fight.
Yeah.
And he's talking mad trash in the beginning of this.
So M'Baku in the comics is known as Man-Ape because it is, dude, he is built. He is so scary.
Oh yeah, no, he's a big guy. He's a big guy in this movie.
He's got the like gorilla mask on. So like in this, he is a unit.
Big guy, very big guy.
Yes.
And he knows how to talk trash too.
Oh yeah.
He's calling out Shuri for being like a stupid little child that's running the technology.
Yeah, she doesn't listen
doesn't
to
care for
tradition.
tradition. And then he calls out, "You couldn't even protect your dad, T'Challa. You let your dad die." And I'm like, yo.
Yeah.
And they also, as they're fighting, they worship I think they worship 2 different gods. I think.
Yeah, that could be.
And he's like, "Where's your god now?" And I'm like, whew. They has fight. T'Challa barely wins. Like, he gets stabbed in the shoulder or like in the chest right here.
But the thing is, he keeps fighting.
Yeah.
I think that's what.
Oh, real quick, before he got his powers taken away, the power flower.
Oh yes.
Before they go into like this ritual combat, they get their powers taken away, so it's even. So yeah, he gets him in like a. He has him in like an armbar and like
a rear naked
with his like his legs around his neck, and he's like submit, or else I'm gonna throw you over this river.
Well, I think he could have just killed him
or snapped his neck. Yeah. He's like submit, and he's like, your people need you.
He goes, I'll never submit, and then he goes, your people need you.
So M'Baku taps out.
Yeah. Which I think this like right here shows
mercy.
That he is different. Yeah.
Built different. So yeah, and he's King T'Challa now. Yes. Goes to ceremony, goes to the ancestral plane, which looks really cool. Meets his dad. He sees his dad again.
Yeah.
And then he wakes up and he's like, I saw my dad. And then the shaman dude's like, yeah, that was the point.
That's how this works.
So Nakia and T'Challa talk on like the square of like this busy square of Wakanda. They talk about the philosophy of Wakanda and how it should go on from like what they should do.
Because
they've been super isolated.
Nobody knows anything about Wakanda.
They think it's like the sheep like farmer third world country.
Yeah. Every time it shows it on the news, it's these barren streets with little huts and people barely surviving.
Well, it's not.
No. They got spaceships.
They find out that Claw stole an artifact. So that's his like first mission as king, to go get Claw once and for all. He promises the council and everybody there, he's like, I'm going to get him and I'm going to bring him back. So he brings Okoye.
Which is the head spear lady, right?
Yeah, she's the general.
So cool.
And she brings Nakia.
The spear women are so cool.
Yes. I can't remember their name, but they have a name.
They do. I don't know names.
Then we cut to Shuri's lab, and she gives him soundproof shoes.
Yeah.
She calls them sneakers.
She does the what are those?
To his shoes. I don't. One, it's dated.
Yeah, that's these. there are aspects in this movie that date the movie. Like,
and
this happened in this year.
I don't know if it's something with Shuri alone, but a lot of her jokes don't land.
I think
like it's just
there are a lot of pop culture jokes. A lot of her jokes were pop culture jokes, like that you had to be living in the time.
2016.
Yeah, like what are those?
She calls
sneakers.
She calls the soundproof shoes sneakers, and I'm like,
because they sneak.
Mm-hmm. No, I understand. I just don't like it.
And then she shows him the new suit.
Yeah, it's soundproof. It's upgraded with
nanotech.
It can absorb and release kinetic energy.
She has him punch it. He punches it, and she goes, "Not that hard."
And it like flies across the room. And
then she goes, "Do it again." And she starts recording.
And the energy releases and knocks T'Challa back, and he's like, "Delete that footage right now."
He's the king and just got knocked on his butt.
I do like T'Challa and Shuri's relationship, though. They're like, it's very much like a brother and sister.
It's not king servant. It's brother and sister.
It's very cute. So then we go to this like party, and I can't remember where it is, like where they are meeting up. Claw.
It's in South Korea.
So
they start playing Psy.
True. Bumping. We meet Agent Ross, who's also there looking for Claw.
He's gonna make a deal with him. CIA.
Mm-hmm. And Claw does show up.
Yes.
And he's gonna give Agent Ross diamonds for.
Agent Ross is gonna give him diamonds.
Oh, Agent Ross is gonna give him diamonds for, I don't
know. The hammerhead.
Right, the vibranium.
Yes. And
this
is kind of a funny scene. He pulls it out of his pants. He goes, "I was gonna buy a nice briefcase, but I don't have the money for the briefcase yet." Yeah, it doesn't go as planned.
Shots fired. Things happen. The good guys fight the bad guys. Claw escapes. High speed chase.
We get to see some cool tech that Shuri has built.
Right. So she has like this thing that you can put on vehicles.
As Claw's getting away.
Yeah, she has this thing that you can put on vehicles, and then it creates like this hologram for you back in Wakanda, and you can like control the vehicle, which is pretty cool. And you get like a kind of POV of like what the car sees.
Yeah. And she goes, "Which side of the street am I supposed to drive on?"
And yeah, Charles is like, "Just drive."
It doesn't matter.
But they get him eventually. Another kind of funny moment, though, is when the bad guys are shooting at the vibranium car with Nakia and Okoye, and they're just like so primitive. And like the bullets are doing absolutely nothing.
Then Okoye gets like puts her body out of the car and throws a spear and stops the car on the spear. This is where I think the spear comes from in She-Hulk.
It's possible. I don't know if she picked it up or not. The only weird thing I have with this, though, is like they're super, highly advanced technology. And then so I guess they do it later in Infinity War, but like, wouldn't it be just easier if the spear could like shoot like a laser beam or something and like take out the car instead of you having to throw it?
That's what the spear women don't have those kind of spears. The other spears are those.
I guess.
Later in this movie, we'll see like spears that have electrical tips and like repulsor almost tips that make you fly off of them.
They get Claw.
Yeah.
The his gun arm cannon thing doesn't do anything to T'Challa's new suit.
He keeps shooting at it. Nothing happens.
And the suit doesn't look good in action scenes. It looks too like you can tell so much that it's like
it looks so cool when he's
standing
practical and he's actually there.
It looks very cool, but like it just looks too cartoonish and like too like you can just tell so much that it's from a computer.
I can't tell if the purple helps it or hurts it. Because
I think the purple hurts it because there's just too much going on.
Yeah.
I think
if it was the sleek black suit, you think it would have been better?
Yes. I understand why, because it's the kinetic energy with the suit. But I think there was just a better way to make it like look like he could have still released it I guess I don't know. I guess it's a way the purple suit. I guess it's a way to show that like the energy is charged up. I don't know. It's just it doesn't look good though.
Yeah, I think I don't know. Sometimes Marvel with their CGI, it's either really good or for some reason it's so bad.
Oh yeah, I don't get it. Unfortunately, yeah, the new suit doesn't look that great. They capture Claw. They take him to this interrogation room where Agent Ross interrogates him for a little bit, and like a total like nerd bad guy, Claw spills the beans.
Tells him everything.
Tells him Wakanda's. You think Wakanda's a third world country? They got all sorts of vibranium.
Agent Ross doesn't believe him.
Yeah,
at
he's
all.
like, T'Challa, what's this dude saying? So, yeah, Claw says what I took was just a tiny portion of that. I think it's even less like I think it's smaller than tiny because they have so much vibranium in the mines.
I'd call it a microscopic.
Yeah. Killmonger shows up, breaks out Claw. Black Panther gives chase, but he gets knocked back by a grenade launcher.
This is where he sees the ring.
Right. Oh, and also as they're Killmonger shooting at everybody, Agent Ross covers up Okoye or one of the women. I don't
know. Nakia. Yeah, he takes a bullet for Nakia
in the spine, in his back.
Spinal cord.
Yes.
Yes.
But
so
also
he would have died if
right.
they didn't take him to Wakanda.
Yeah, they put one of them little energy balls in his back and it like stabilizes him.
Those things have everything.
Yeah, they can do everything.
Because it's a med kit. It's a communication device. It's all of it.
I think it kind of makes sense too that like they would have like this little like easy to carry thing that is so like versatile.
Yeah.
But like you said, cool. Black Panther T'Challa sees the ring that his granddad wore, and he's like, why was he wearing that? So Claw escapes once again. They fly back to Wakanda with Agent Ross. And Okoye's like, what are we doing? Why are we bringing this guy back? And because he's like, it's his duty as a CIA agent to report back to his country. But I think this really shows the first development of T'Challa's
help people.
opening his new philosophy and opening up Wakanda. And he's like,
outreach.
He's like, I have the option to help him, so I'm gonna help him. So they fly back. Agent Ross gets healed up. The Border Tribe super pissed at T'Challa because he's like,
they're at the border, so they don't let people in.
Your dad promised that you'd bring him back.
Oh yeah,
and now you failed again.
And he brought somebody in.
So it's just the same thing. So you know what? You're a loser now, T'Challa. Big loser. I'm like, wow.
Is this where we find out that the leader of the Border Tribe and the
Okoye are
they're dating?
They're dating. They're lovers.
I think they're dating or they're married. One of the two.
Ew. Well, she says my love, so I don't know.
So, I mean, it could be either.
Cooties either way, and I'm not here for
it. Ew!
And so Killmonger is flying away with Claw, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to go back to Wakanda. And he's like, why would you want to do that? And he's like, I don't know. Pop.
Just start shooting everybody.
He kills Claw's guards, and then Claw has Killmonger's girl, which they've been smooching this the whole time. They got like he says, like Killmonger's or like Claw says, they got a Bonnie and Clyde thing going on.
Yeah. And then Killmonger goes,
shoots.
It'll be okay, and he shoots her.
Killmonger shoots her. So yeah, now Claw doesn't have it
through her to hit him,
and he doesn't have a shield anymore, a body shield. And I'm like, wow. Killmonger.
I think he doesn't care about anybody.
He's a man who's focused in his mission. I'll give him that. So yeah, Claw gets shot in the chest there. He runs away. And we get to see how proficient Killmonger is, just how much of a killer he is. Like, Claw sees Killmonger first from, like, I don't know, I'd say 20 feet behind like wreckage.
Yeah.
And Claw gets up to go shoot him. And then
gets
Killmonger's
2 shots.
reflexes are just like so much quicker than he is, and he
goes pop up, and he hits both shoulders.
He like knocks him back to the ground, and he's like, and then Killmonger's like, "You're a stupid boy. Like, why would they let you in?" He shows him that he has a tattoo like the other Wakandans do.
They said those were the warrior tattoos, meaning that those are the people they've put out into the world.
Yeah, because his I think so, because like his dad was one of those, and that's how he got it. And yeah, Claw says something. I just thought you were a stupid American, and then just like that, Claw's dead.
Yeah,
shoots him. And that's how he's gonna get into Wakanda. He breaks Claw's body. So yeah, T'Challa sees the ring. He wants the truth. So he goes to his uncle.
One of the elders. No, not his uncle. His uncle's the one that died. His uncle is this guy's dad. So he goes to the elder.
Yeah, he was like very close with his dad. I know.
Yeah. He was a confidant of his dad.
So Killmonger, we find out that he was the dad. Killmonger's dad was the dude who was doing the naughty criminal things in America.
Yes,
selling secrets to hurt Wakanda.
And it turns out that his friend who was doing it with him was actually a spy put there
it was the shaman dude. It's the older guy, and I'm like, whoa.
Put there by the king of Wakanda.
Yeah.
That's
so doesn't look good. Then so the dad says, he's like, I'm here to like help out, our fellow communities here, because like they're hurting, they're suffering every day, like they shouldn't have
all
to
around
be.
the world.
So I'm here to give them vibranium, and I'm here to take them on. And King T'Chaka's like, no.
I think he goes, that's not what we do.
Yeah.
That's not the way.
So
we're going to take you home to, and
yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, then his brother pulls out a gun.
He pulls out a gun to shoot at the shaman because he's the one who tricked him.
And he knocks the gun back. King T'Chaka knocks the gun away and stabs him in the chest.
He killed his own brother to save
his fellow, his friend.
His fellow civilian. I mean, like really.
It's tough. It's real tough.
And then they left the kid.
And the kid is Killmonger.
And T'Challa is P.O.
Yeah, he's pissed. He's very pissed.
First of all, why wouldn't you tell us?
But here's the only thing. Like, I think T'Chaka, what he did, I don't think there was any like right decision in that moment. Because obviously it was a problem to leave the kid.
Put your hand out, catch the bullet.
But that I don't necessarily blame him on that, because he was trying to save another guy, and the Panther claws are just out. So
yeah, it
was just a bad situation.
Yeah.
Right as that conversation is happening, Killmonger shows up with Claw's body to the border tribe, and he seeks the council, and he
T'Challa knows who he is.
Yeah.
But
nobody else does.
Nobody does
at this moment.
Well, what's his name? The agent. He goes, he's one of ours.
Huh? Oh, Agent Ross.
Yeah. Agent Ross goes, oh, I know him. He's one of ours.
Yeah, Eric, whatever.
Something.
Navy SEAL. Grew up to be kind of a BA.
Yeah.
And
went to Afghanistan.
He figured out how to kill people like really well. He apparently, like he says later in the movie, he's killed people all over the country just to get to Wakanda. He
marked his body every kill.
All over.
This, I think, is the coolest body mod. Dude's got like crazy tattoo bumps.
Like he's a video game character. He's like, I'm a mod.
No, that's what it's called. Like when you get the huge the lip. Ring,
those weird things. Yeah.
That giant lip ring. The big gauges
on your ears.
That's their body modifications. So they're called body mods.
Disgusting. Anyways, so yeah, he shows up and he wants to talk to like the council of all the tribes.
Yeah.
And they one of the people asked him for his real identity, and he tells him, he's like, I can't remember what
I'm the son of.
I can't remember what his Wakanda's name is, but this is my Wakanda name, and I'm the son of this guy, King T'Chaka's brother, and everybody's like, hold up, what?
You had a kid?
And he was like, yeah, and your dad killed my dad, and then the queen mother, she's like, liar, get him out, I don't want him. But
and he pulls out
Killmonger,
the ring, doesn't he?
Yeah, he like shows him the tattoo, and he's like, he has a fairly
strong argument.
He's like, I'm a royal blood, I get the challenge for
his
the throne.
His birthright, he gets a challenge for the throne.
And T'Challa's like, all right, let's go, let's fight.
Big mistake, huge mistake.
Because I think this just shows how proficient. So yeah, no, they has fight. It's a fairly like even match for a little bit, but until Killmonger like slices T'Challa's leg with the sword.
Yeah.
Which those slices and those sound effects, ooh.
I was cringing as we watched it. It was so bad.
It's such a cool fight though. The choreography is such a cool fight.
Without a doubt.
That's when T'Challa loses the edge and he starts to like just kind of get the crap beat out of him. Then the shaman, the older man, he's like, no, I didn't get your dad killed. He didn't get your dad killed. I got your dad killed.
I was the one who did it.
And he's like, all right, I'll take you out too.
He calls him by the name he used. He goes, all right, Uncle James, and stabs him through
with the spear that he was holding, and it's like, oh man, because Killmonger was about to kill T'Challa, but then Uncle James, he like sticks out his spear and like stops it. He's like, no, I did. He's like, all right, I'll kill you too. So he kills him.
Then he picks up the child.
And it's so sad because then like T'Challa is like, no, and he picks up a sword and it just starts just like swinging wildly at Killmonger, and he's like easily dodging each attack.
It's not just physical warfare here; it's mental warfare. He just killed one of. Honestly, it'd be like T'Challa's like
another father.
Almost.
Another like almost like an uncle or father figure.
Because he's been in his life the entire time and
knocks T'Challa out, picks him up on her shoulders, and throws him off the waterfall.
Yeah.
Probably should be dead. Probably, but MCU, who cares?
Well, I mean, if you hit the water down there, as long as it's moving water, it won't hurt as bad.
I know, but like at a certain height though, all water when you hit it, it feels like concrete.
Still water feels like concrete. That's why at like the diving contest they blow bubbles up. This is some facts for you. At like diving contests where they dive from hundreds of feet in the air, or like when they do stunts where they jump out of helicopters, they're blowing bubbles from the bottom to keep the surface tension off, so that when they hit the water they go deeper. Instead of
it still hurts.
Oh, 100%.
2.
But he's
bro was
out.
bleeding out.
He's knocked out and he's bleeding out, so he probably didn't feel it.
He's feeling other things.
But there is a thing he could have survived.
Killmonger goes to the ancestral plane after winning and getting the powers. And he talks to his dad.
Yeah.
And
it's really interesting.
Yeah, because his dad's he's not in the typical ancestral planes on the field with the other Black Panthers. He is still trapped in the apartment that he died, which I find that fascinating.
This kind of makes I wonder if this is his mind.
Right.
Like this takes him into his mind
as a kid.
Yeah. He's like, this is where I live. This is where I grew up, and this is why I do what I do.
Probably, yeah. It's his entire motivation to carry on like his kind of dad's plan essentially, but on a much bigger scale.
Yeah.
So
he talks to his dad
he talks to his dad. They have heart to heart. Then he wakes up and he's like, all right, burn all the flowers.
Yeah. He goes, you guys don't need those anymore.
Because I'm going to be the last king.
Yeah. Dude, that's insane.
Yeah. Nakia takes a flower, and she sneaks in, takes a flower, and leaves. To T'Challa's mother, sister, and Nakia go to the outsider tribe, the Jabari. And they're like, we don't have any options here, really. So, like, we're going to hope we can give this flower to M'Baku.
Take this. Become strong and fight.
And hopefully he can fight Killmonger.
I think if he had the flower, dude, he'd be unstoppable.
I don't know, because...
monster.
Because not only does Killmonger have the flower power, he also has the suit as well.
That's true. Never mind.
But
yeah. Well,
I don't
know. We don't know this, but
so Killmonger sits on the throne and he plans a revolution. Shuri.
She had the necklace,
right?
The silver suit.
I don't know if it.
I mean, he could have.
I don't know the rules if it has to fit to a certain person.
I don't know.
I don't know the rules. Killmonger sits on the throne. It's a pretty cool like camera deal where the camera's upside down as he's walking in, and it has I can't remember what song's playing, but like everything's upside down, literally and figuratively, because the kingdom is like
it's
flipped. Screwed.
Yeah.
So as they go to the Jabari tribe, M'Baku threatens to eat Agent Ross if he doesn't shut up. But then he's like,
him to the
he's
children.
He's like, nah, we're vegetarians, and I'm like, ain't no way. These physical like monsters are vegetarian.
They are huge. They're jacked.
The child's still alive.
Yes.
They found a fisherman found him in like one of the frozen rivers. So they put him on ice, and so then they
put him in a coma. They put him into a coma.
Right.
On ice.
On ice. Give him the old Bucky Barnes treatment. They give him the flower power. And he wakes up again in the astral plane and kind of berates his dad for like 5 minutes.
Well, his dad is like, it's time to come home.
Right.
It's time you're done.
Are you done? Are you going to come join us? And he's like, nah, I got work to do.
And then he straight up yells at his dad and his ancestors.
You were wrong.
Why wouldn't you help others? Why?
Not only you are specifically wrong for leaving the kid, but all of you are wrong for not helping the world. And I'm like, oh, T'Challa just roasting the ancestor. Yeah, it's a great scene. He wakes up, big CGI fight.
Well, we get to see Killmonger is about to start completely giving out weapons to all of the agents that they have throughout.
So Killmonger's plan is interesting because he's a cool villain, because his plan is like he wants to like liberate and like help people of like African American descent throughout the world. The only problem is he wants to kill everybody who's in power right now who's not that.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a no for me, dog.
Kind of an issue.
Kind of an issue. He has some planes going out that are going to go outside of Wakanda and wreak havoc
with a lot of vibranium on them
to give to people.
Yeah.
T'Challa knocks down one of the planes.
Yeah,
and
that's insane.
And then he has a pretty cool line where he's like, the challenge is still open. And as you can see, I am not dead.
Yeah, I did not concede, and I am not dead.
And then Killmonger's like, enough of this clown. I ain't doing that no more. But yeah, the
how
border.
Quick they are to completely give up on tradition.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's the king now, so it's whatever.
He's not, though. The challenge is still going. He might have won the battle, but there is a war at play.
I guess this is the moment where they kind of choose sides, I guess. Yeah, and the border tribe is like, I'm on Killmonger's side. I'm like, bro, the betrayal.
Yeah.
Yeah, little of like Wakanda's civil war going on here. Yeah, big CGI battle, where
with war rhinos.
True, and Killmonger gets to show off the gold suit, which looks pretty sick, and he kills one of the spear ladies, which is tough.
Yeah.
Shuri and Nakia.
Yeah.
They come out with weapons and they start helping fight Killmonger.
Meanwhile, Agent Ross, right?
Yeah, he's in a plane.
He gets into one of the planes.
And he's like flying after the ships that are leaving Wakanda. He shoots one. He's like, all right, yeah, I got one. And then the ships turn around and start shooting at him. He's like, uh-oh.
Yeah, he goes, there were 3, but I'm missing one now. And then the base where he's actually at, because he used the remote car thing, and he goes, I found it, or something like that.
It's like shooting right at him to the glass. Let's see. So T'Challa's getting a little bit overrun from all of the tribe, like all of the border tribe. They're kind of overrunning him a little bit.
I mean, I think right now he's trying not to kill anybody.
Right.
Because they are his people.
Yeah, it's the brothers and sisters. But then he sees Shuri get knocked to the ground. And then he, like, knocks them all back with the energy and then just, like, tackles Killmonger into the mine.
Yeah.
And
then the spear ladies start getting surrounded.
By the border tribe.
Border tribe is basically their warriors. I mean, like, that is their army.
True. I mean, they defend the border.
Yeah.
They have these cool, like, cloth things. When they open them up, they turn into shields.
That is so cool. And then we hear the chanting again.
M'Baku.
M'Baku shows up.
And he's just throwing people around.
First guy he comes up to, grabs him by the throat, throws him.
And then with that staff he has with the wooden ball on the end, he's just clocking people.
Dude, it is so cool.
Yeah, people are definitely dying now.
Yeah.
Because the girls those ladies are stabbing people.
Yeah.
But
they're stabbing people, and then he's bashing their heads in with the big metal, or not? It's not
the big wooden
metal.
stick.
Yeah, big wooden stick.
And then
yeah,
CGI looks really bad with the Killmonger and
the train scene.
Yeah, it looks so bad. Here's what I would much rather have. I think it would have made sense in the story too, for Shuri to be like, all right, the vibranium can't leave Wakanda, so I'm going to put everybody on a level playing field. And she just had, because I know she could. I know she could be able to, like, make an EMP that, like, knocks out all vibranium tech. I know she could.
Yeah.
So all of their suits are now useless. So, like, they take off the suits, and then, like, T'Challa has to, like, take on the Jabari tribe, just, like, take them all on as he, like, worked his way up to Killmonger. And then they have, like, another, like, cool choreographed fight like they did in the river.
Yeah.
As, like, the sun's setting, and, like, in the background they're, like, hand-to-hand combat as the sun. I think that would have been way cooler.
That would have been really cool.
Than this CGI just, like, barf mess that we get in the train and the mines.
It is a really cool scene, though, because we get to see Killmonger is efficient.
Sure.
But T'Challa thinks about it. Every move that he could possibly
make. No. Killmonger hasn't been here. He's never been to Wakanda, so he doesn't know how all this technology works. So T'Challa knows exactly when the train leaves and when, like, the vibranium will turn back on, and a pretty slick move from T'Challa. And as soon as it's about ready to turn back on, like, the suits are reforming
because
he stabs Killmonger, like,
in the heart.
Is it in the heart?
Yes, it's directly in the chest. And that's why he didn't move. He didn't take out the blade as soon as he did it. Yeah.
And he's like, Killmonger goes, "Oh, that was a cool move."
You have to respect it. I mean,
you gotta respect the game.
Super cool.
So very emotional scene here. T'Challa picks up Killmonger and they walk out of the mine. And they go sit right outside the cave.
This entire time, he's been talking about how his dad said that one day he'd take him back here.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys wouldn't accept us.
The beautiful place of Wakanda.
Yeah.
So just imagine, T'Challa and Killmonger, like, just sitting as, like, the sun setting over Wakanda. And this is the clip that we have.
I want you to listen to the music, too, because the soundtrack that they use is just so good. So here's that.
beautiful. Maybe we can still heal you. Why? So you could just lock me up? Nah. Just bury me in the ocean with my ancestors that jumped from the ships. Because they knew death was better than bondage.
It is so good.
Yeah. No, very sad, very tragic.
He
it sucks.
becomes a villain to now we're sad that he's dead.
And it sucks because I thought it'd be really cool to like maybe have Killmonger come back at some point, but like nah, he did.
Yeah.
But
yeah, he pulls the spear out of his chest.
That line though is very cool because it's like it's essentially like give me freedom or give me death.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, it's very cool. Killmonger is one of the I think top tier MCU villains. So yeah, Killmonger after his last monologue as the sun sets. The next day, T'Challa and Nakia are together, and they have a little smooch. So they're together.
That's nice. Good for them.
Is it him and Nakia or T'Challa and Okoye?
For what?
They go back to the old building in the basketball
in
court.
California?
Yeah.
It's Sherry.
Oh, is it? Yeah, that's right. It is Shuri.
Yeah. Shuri. Sorry.
They go back there to where that the tough place happened.
His uncle. Yeah.
But
his uncle passed.
And Killmonger was left. But it's pretty cool because T'Challa he buys like this block.
Yeah. She goes, well, it's they're gonna tear it down, and he goes, nobody's tearing it down. I bought this building and that one too.
He bought the whole block.
So he's building outreach centers. This is the first
Wakandan International Outreach Center on the place where one of their biggest mistakes in the past. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So then the after credit scene-ish is kind of T'Challa talking to
two of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
T'Challa's talking to I don't know, just World Council or world government, whatever.
Yes.
And he's basically they're talking about to we're gonna end the isolationism.
Wakanda is going to provide aid to those in need.
What are you gonna provide to us? And I'm like, bro, you don't even know.
I was hoping he'd hit the put the suit on, and they're like, wait a second.
Hold on. Well, yeah. Hold on. Actually, quick question. Doesn't the world already know his identity?
Yes. Sort of. No. All of those answers.
Okay.
I think it was
maybe
more
it's
of
just those military
the
dudes.
military people.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the other scene is we see these two little kids messing with a guy in a hut, and then he wakes up, groggily wakes up, and he walks out, and it's Bucky. He woke up after being on ice.
The White Wolf of Wakanda.
He gets a new arm. He gets a Wakandan metal arm.
I think his nickname is the coolest. I would go by the White Wolf of Wakanda.
The White Wolf.
Over the
Winter Soldier?
Winter Soldier.
I don't know. For some reason, I think the Winter Soldier sounds pretty freaking cool.
Well, the Winter Soldier's the one that killed everybody. The White Wolf isn't the one that killed everybody.
Oh, you just wait. Bucky's about to kill a lot of people.
And then we get the big credit scene, or the big, the block scene that says Black Panther will return in Infinity War. Ooh-wee.
Whoa. What's Infinity War? Whoa.
This is the first time they've mentioned it.
Infinity War?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, though, that they've already mentioned Endgame. That was a fun thing to listen to again.
That'll be the Endgame.
But yeah, no, Black Panther... I don't know. It's fine. It's not a terrible movie by any means. It's not like Captain Marvel or The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah. I agree. Or Black Widow, or
Black Widow. I think, I don't know, some of the jokes don't land, a lot of dated references. I think T'Challa's arc is fairly okay about becoming, changing Wakanda to be less isolationist.
I'm afraid for the future.
For like Wakanda or
for Wakanda Forever, the movie.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that in a second.
Okay. All right.
I think it's kind of another case where like the sometimes where the villain steals kind of the show, like in The Dark Knight with like Heath Ledger's Joker. It's kind of like you're focused when he's on the screen more than anybody else. So I guess that in a way that's kind of a positive though. I just don't think it's as good as a lot of people say this movie is. I don't think it's like up there with like the rest of them. Like for me, it's more of like a 6 or a 7. It's not like 9 or 10-ish. But yeah, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever has to be really good.
I hope it is.
It has to be, and it has to really respect like Chadwick Boseman as like T'Challa, because from the trailers it's looking like that he's just dead.
Yeah, they just kill him off.
And I'm like, this recast him.
In real life,
him. Yeah, yeah.
Chadwick Boseman plays T'Challa, and he sadly passed away from cancer. But he hid it from everybody.
Right.
I don't think he would want them to stop his character.
No.
I mean,
not
that could be selfish of me.
No, not
because I want to see more of his character.
I don't think that he would have kept it a secret and like continued to work on the character just to have it just killed off. And I think it's crazy to just kill him off and not recast him, because there are a lot of actors out there that I think could play T'Challa.
Yeah.
I mean, Chadwick Boseman will always be the best because he's the king.
The original, the one.
And he's one of the greatest actors that we've ever seen.
In all of his films, every film I've seen that he's in, I thought he was a great, phenomenal actor. But
it's just crazy to me for two reasons to kill off T'Challa. Because one, like there are, not a lot of like black superheroes. He is the black superhero. Like he is the guy that a lot of people in that community look up to, and just to kill him off, that seems nuts. And also that Namor is going to be in this movie.
Yeah.
T'Challa and Namor have eternal beef in the comic books, and that's also crazy to me that they won't, fight each other.
They'll never even meet each other.
And I'm like,
if they just kill him off,
just recast him. Because they've recasted plenty of people. They've recasted. They recasted Thaddeus Ross. They recasted
Thunderbolt. I guess. Oh yeah, it's the same person.
Yeah, Thunderbolt Ross as with Harrison Ford. They recast
Don Cheadle.
John Cheadle.
I mean,
I'm sure there are others that they've recasted.
My thought process is, for the comics, they're not always going to stick with the comics. This is the MCU. This is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Sure. It's not the Marvel comic universe. So they could change it, and they could bring him back with what is it? Not the Multiverse of Madness, but the Multimania. Somehow.
Oh, Quantumania.
Oh, what's the one? They're going to do another multiverse, aren't they?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about, boy?
I don't know. Never mind. I'll just stop
there's an Ant-Man Quantumania.
I know
that,
yeah. But I thought there was going to be another one with like Kane the Conqueror. I thought there was going to be another one where people.
Oh, I see what you mean. Apparently that's going to be another Avengers movie. It's in the works.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they could bring a different Black Panther to this reality, and that could be the T'Challa that they continue with.
I hope so.
If they just need to bring him back, because they need.
It's crazy to me
the character.
Yeah, it's crazy to me that T'Challa wouldn't be in the MCU.
Yeah. I think Chadwick will always be the best.
Oh yeah, easily.
But we need him because he is an important character.
He's so important for so many different reasons. And like at the end of this movie, it's like like that kid that they meet at the very end, and he's like talking to T'Challa, and I'm like, yeah, that's like perfect because like there's so many people that look up to T'Challa.
Up to him. Yeah.
Yeah, and just to totally get rid of him. And the people who say like, recasting him would be disrespectful. I'm like, so then where were you for all the other recastings? And I don't think it would be disrespectful at all to continue the mantle of T'Challa the best way that they could.
Yeah.
I think it's disrespectful just to kill him off and just totally leave the character dead when Chadwick actually died in real life. To continue on the story and to try really hard to make it work, I think that honors Chadwick's death. I mean,
it's the same thing kind of with Fast and Furious, right?
Oh, Paul Walker. I never watched any of the Fast and the Furious movies.
I had watched a lot of them up until the point where it became, big tank, fly out of the sky, pew, pew, pew. It became too crazy. But with that, they had his brother step in to do, because they were twins. I believe they were twins. And they did.
For like a couple scenes.
A couple final scenes with him. And
is that where they drive off into the...
Yeah.
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 I have seen that.
Yeah. So, it's...
I don't know. Yeah, Wakanda Forever is going to have to be really good, or else there's going to be some problems.
I mean, in the comics, Shuri does become a Black Panther. But T'Challa is still there.
Yeah,
he is the king.
Kill him off. Lame.
I don't know. I haven't said what my thought was. I'd give it like a 7.5. I love the music. The entire music of all of this was so good.
Score's pretty good.
The suits were so cool, but the action scenes were really not so good.
Yeah, anytime that they're choreographed fights without the suits, that's pretty good.
With the suits on, like if it's practical, so cool. If it's CGI, it's so bad.
Yeah, I don't know what the change was between this and Civil War.
Yeah. Or even this Doctor Strange, which is our next movie, I'm pretty sure that had great CGI.
From what I remember, the Hulk so far has looked pretty good.
Yes.
I know there's going to be, the Mad Titan. He looks really good.
Yep. I don't know what they did.
Some projects in the MCU, it just looks bad, and some projects it don't. I don't know if it's just the different developing teams themselves or like time constraints or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's definitely not budget because they blow a lot of money.
Not budget. I don't think it's budget. Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of it.
Yep. Alrighty. Well, thank you for listening. This has been Silver Screen Shenanigans Podcast, and we hope to see you next time.